Alright fellas, Ben Whittaker and his team at the moment just can't keep their names out of the headlines. Ahead of the rematch with Liam Cameron, him and his team have been made to look honestly stupid once again. How have they done that? Well, it seems like they've skewed the conditions for the bout completely in favour of Liam Cameron. And once they've realised their huge mistake, it seems like it's too late, and apparently, according to Cameron, there's been a huge cover-up mission to try to not have the details leaked to us, the fans. But it has all come out and we absolutely need to talk about it. Now, if you don't remember, Cameron vs Whittaker was one of the most controversial fights of last year, with Whittaker seemingly throwing himself and Cameron over the ropes once the momentum started shifting away from him. This fight has become one of the most viewed bouts to come out of the Saudi stable so far, and the rematch was destined to always happen. Whittaker had always walked a fine line between confidence and arrogance, but when he was being outworked and outclassed by the gritty no-nonsense Liam Cameron and chose to seemingly go over the ropes and allegedly fake an injury, that's an easy way to get the public to turn on you. Taking a tumble at the first sign of adversity after mocking all your previous opponents was a horrendous look for any boxer. They claimed it was his ankle, and you would have thought that after this fight they would have put out some sort of social media response, talked about his injury and given props to Liam almost immediately if it was genuine. But no, they went silent, and instead of doing any sort of press after the fight, Whittaker, who was unable to walk, somehow put his fist through a wall. Not a great look, neither is smashing a fan's phone who just wanted a photo. So with the public opinion turning on him, they had no choice but to rematch Liam Cameron. The build up so far hasn't been anything special. At the initial press conference, I hoped for a humbled and respectful Whittaker, and we didn't really get that. Generally, I like true confidence. What I don't like, and what most of you guys at home don't like, is fighters who are completely up themselves. Whittaker appeared to have learnt nothing. Complete arrogance from Whittaker, just nothing more. And it seemed like this would be the trend running into Fight Week, which is only a couple weeks away. But no one really expected Cameron to come out with a bit of a bombshell. In an interview with TalkSport, Liam Cameron revealed that the Whittaker camp had screwed up the contract they sent Cameron and sent him a 12-round fight contract, which is exactly what Cameron wanted. Once the Whittaker camp found out their huge mistake, they've been pushing hard to change it to at least a 10-round fight, which of course the Cameron camp has refused to do. And on top of this, Cameron has been banned from talking about this contract in almost all press outings. I like to kind of what I talked in my last video, check it out by the way if you haven't seen it already. Similar to the Aussie press, the UK press are very good at controlling the narrative, and this is just another example of this, with Cameron claiming he either wasn't allowed to talk about it or when he did, it never went to air. Why would they be doing this? Well, I would think the Whittaker camp are trying to cover up and hope this bout can be changed and then present it to the public as a 10-round fight, with them never really wanting to admit they signed on to a 12-round fight to the public. If Ben is trying to insist he's this fantastic talent, signing his way out of a tougher fight isn't a great look, especially when he goes to press outings talking to Liam like he's below him. And why wouldn't he want a 12-round fight? Well, I think they're scared he won't be able to go the full 12. The main issue from the last fight was that Whittaker may not have been able to go the full 10. That was only scheduled for 10 rounds, and once Whittaker got tired, his instinct seemed to be for him to jump out the ring rather than stand there and fight. So far, all his bouts have been an easy walk in the park journeyman sort of fight, yet once he was faced with some vague resemblance of adversity, he ran. And once again, he seems to be running from a 12-round bout with Liam, hiding and trying to get the contract changed. It's not a great look for Ben Shalom and Boxer either. For a promotional company trying to establish themselves as a major player in the boxing world, giving the opposition fighter the upper hand by mistake may make other fighters second guess in the future signing a deal with them. But could this all be a stunt for promotion? I doubt it. And what makes me doubt it is the refusal of pretty much all the press to cover it. You only have external groups such as The Ring willing to even report on it. It's obviously a story they want nowhere near the headlines. As they say, where there's smoke there's fire, and I think that's the case here. Luckily for Cameron, he does have Frank Warren in his corner, and Warren seems to not want to budge at all. A 12-round fight is what the contract says, and they've both signed. And the Cameron camp seems to be keen to keep it this way. Will it stay this way though? Maybe. It depends how much money the Whittaker camp is willing to throw at Cameron to have it go their way. If Whittaker is the great boxer everyone keeps saying he is, this shouldn't be too much of a jump. Now, what would he have to do to win? Well, in the rematch, Whittaker needs to use his superior hand speed, footwork, and reach to control the distance and rack up points early. He must stay disciplined, avoid showboating, please, and conserve energy for the championship rounds. His jabs, angles, and movement is key to staying out of trouble, but he'll need to show improved resilience and composure if Cameron manages to close that gap again. His conditioning will be key. Cameron, on the other hand, will need to pick up where he left off. He needs to apply consistent pressure, cut off the ring, and invest heavily in body shots to slow Whittaker down. He'll look to make the fight physical, rough up Whittaker, and test his cardio in the later rounds. Cameron believes the longer fight favours him, especially if he can drag Whittaker into another dogfight. With his confidence boosted after the first bout and the psychological edge of knowing he had the momentum before the fall, Cameron will look to make this rematch definitive and leave no doubt. If Whittaker maintains his composure and sticks to a disciplined game plan, he can outbox Cameron and build an early lead. But the big question is whether he can sustain that movement and sharpness over the full distance. If his stamina holds and he avoids unnecessary exchanges, Whittaker has the tools to win a clear decision. That said, Cameron's pressure is relentless. If he can keep Whittaker on the back foot, especially past round 6, things could get really messy. If he gets to Whittaker's body early and often and it turns into a war, he could break him down or swing close rounds his way. Ultimately, it comes down to whether Whittaker can mature from their first fight and prove he's more than just a showboat. I really hope to see a more humbled Whittaker as the promotion progresses and fight week goes on, yet I reckon the chances to see that are incredibly slim. And that's even more sad considering his opponent Liam Cameron is one of the nicer, more down-to-earth fellas in the whole sport of boxing. If anything more happens dramatic over the next few weeks ahead of the bout, I'll make sure to have you covered as soon as it happens. But now I want to hear what you think. What do you think of Whittaker's antics and the contract drama, and how do you see the rematch going? Let me know all your thoughts and predictions in the comments down below. If you did enjoy the video, please consider liking and subscribing. It really does a ton to help the channel. Yet thanks for watching fellas, and I'll catch you in the next one.